Hey there, Max here, and today we're going to be watching Brandon Herrera's Darwin Awards, episode number 15. Now then, this is going to be interesting. We are now about 5 away, well, technically 4 after this one, from the finishing the series, or at least getting fully caught up with it, I should say. I'm getting very interested in how this is going to end up going, and it looks like we're going back to the Middle East. It looks like going back to them classics. And take your bets on what we're going to be seeing in this one. Could be just about anything. More negligent discharges, more tannerite explosions, perhaps. Let's go ahead and get right on into it then, shall we? Okay, if you enjoyed, please leave a like. If not, please do leave a dislike. And then please do give any comments on anything that you want to say or anything you want to request me to react towards. And please do subscribe to help build my community and follow along more with any of my Let's Plays or my reactions. Let's go ahead and get this started. Take it away, Brandon. Did I just say the Transformers?
That dude definitely gave the camera guy a haircut. What is up, you sexy YouTube mother lovers, and welcome to another episode of the Darwin Awards. Woo! As we say here on the channel, guns are awesome. Idiots, not so much. When you put the two of those things together, you might end up with a winner of what we call here the Darwin Award. If you're not familiar with the concept of a Darwin Award, it's an award that you get, often posthumously, when you do something so stupid, you end up removing yourself from the gene pool. And the fittest continue to survive. In this episode,
supposedly anyways,
we've got an Arab wedding. Instagram flex.
Why do people dance with guns?
Has gone wrong. And a couple other tiny surprises. Now, a lot of people that are new complained in the last Darwin Award.
Did he really? Did he? Yes, he did.
Because there wasn't actually a real death in that one. Because for whatever reason, they go to YouTube to find graphic videos of people dying. This ain't 2006 anymore, guys. Also kind of...
I mean, they're out there.
Fucked up to be disappointed you didn't just watch someone die, but that's a totally different issue.
Why would you come into a video wishing to see somebody die? That's...
Because some people are psychotic!
Disgusting.
But for you psychos, not to worry. This episode actually has a double feature Darwin Award win. We have two separate clips of people removing themselves from the gene pool. 2 for the price of 1. Buy 1, get 1, room temperature. In fact, this whole
I don't know about the room temperature thing, but remember, we were watching these so that way we can learn from others' mistakes and not our own.
Episode is full of double features. Let's start with some butt-puckering foreplay. No, not the kind you got.
I'm sorry, what the?
From Scoutmaster Kevin.
Scoutmaster Kevin!
Sometimes I'm glad I never joined Scouts.
The kind that comes from idiots being wildly unsafe with guns. You know this one's gonna be good if the text says, was that an ND?
Yes, I believe that was an ND.
Yeah, that definitely looked like an ND. Thankfully, they've got it in slow motion. Yeah, after watching that in slow motion...
What did he drop? It looked like he was just trying to flick something up and then something dropped right out of his hands.
Unless he was trying to hit the non-existent camera guy, that looked like it was probably an ND. For those who don't know, ND means negligent discharge. Also, what the fuck did he pull out that went flying when he was trying to draw his gun? I can't tell if that's a knife, spare mag, what the fuck that is.
Yeah, I can't tell either. It looks like, I can't even tell if he had it in his hand beforehand and if he picked out something from his belt or something.
Let me know down in the comments if you can see what that is, because I can't. There's an argument to be made, I guess, that this could...
Yeah, his hands are empty right now.
An intentional shot, wildly unaimed.
Am I crazy, or was his hands empty for a moment there?
In the direction of his camera. But if so, this is the sort of training that I think is only for Instagram points. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And smooth is the brain that does shit like this.
Yeah, it looked like he picked something out and then threw it. Am I crazy?
But since this is a...
Don't answer that. Yes, I know I'm crazy. But am I crazy about what I'm seeing?
Double feature episode, we've got a very similar scenario coming to you from... Well, you know exactly where this is.
Because they always are, aren't they? Oh, dear God.
No, I'll...
How many shots was that? 5 or 4 shots? I couldn't... But, oh my God, it literally sounds like the Transformers changing screen. Am I crazy on that?
Admit, I've seen this one before, and I still had to slow it down again. That dude definitely gave the camera guy a haircut. Thankfully, in these videos, doesn't look like anybody got hurt. I
Like, did somebody see Bumblebee all of a sudden somewhere there?
Can't say the same for these next two videos, though. But before we get too far, we want to thank our sponsor, Conflict of Nations.
Okay, well,
Conflict of
have
Nations is a free online PvP strategy.
Thank you, chapter system.
Now, some of these don't have audio because they're surveillance video, and that's
We're getting to the point where I might start giving those in there. Once we get like under a year, I might consider it, considering it's might actually help him. But these ones, probably not.
when you know you're going to get a juicy one. Here we see a group of men partaking in a pastime that is very popular in impoverished urban communities.
Knitting?
Sitting. One of them seems to have a
Close enough.
bright idea that he'd like to further reduce their property value and fire a handgun up.
You know, this actually is a good question. Why do people just kind of sit out there doing nothing? Like, it's one thing to be like sitting on your porch, maybe having a beer with your homies, and like maybe chatting it up there, but I don't know. They're just kind of just sitting there. I'm not really seeing them doing much else. So I don't know about you.
In the air. That's what happened. Yep.
Well, I'm sorry. What the heck?
And he didn't raise it quite high enough before squeezing off that first round because he just shot his buddy. I don't know.
Was this some sort of party that was going on? He was blitzed out of his mind and was like, had like the thought, oh, I want to take a shot in the air. And as he's doing it, fires off. And I don't know, man. That's not good.
It looks like it could have either been in the leg or in the pelvic bowl. Neither is a good place to get shot. Both are pretty bleedy. But if it's pelvic bowl, well, just remember the age-old saying, you can't put a tourniquet on a taint. I love that he mimes like his arm up in the air, like, oh, bro, I was trying to shoot up in the air. It's like, well, you
Maybe, but that's not where the bullet went, now is it?
fucking shot me. Luckily, if he's bleeding, you really can't tell in this video, and they hobble him to the car, where hopefully they get him some medical attention. Not to be outdone, we've got Officer Doofy here. Must be a slow day for crime, because he's playing around with his 1911. 2 world wars, brother. He takes out the magazine, which is a good first step, goes to attempt to rack the pistol, and then pulls the trigger. Puts a whole...
Okay, if you're bored at work, don't be fiddling around with their dang guns, of all things. They're not fidget spinners.
right through his fucking leg. And as we see him move his foot, there's now a pretty big puddle of blood. Yeah, that's a lot of blood.
Ugh.
See, that's a real
That ain't good.
squirty one. When you get that much blood that quickly, especially the bright red chunky blood, that's not good.
Chunky blood?
No way!
Oftentimes that signals an arterial bleed, and you need a tourniquet on that fucker ASAP. What looks
boy.
like what happened in this one is that he went to remove the magazines, gun's cleared obviously. He removed the magazine, that's good, but in order to clear the gun, you have to go all the way back, which would then eject a round. Not only should you go all the way back, but it's good practice to inspect the chamber to make sure there's nothing in it. Then you can let it forward and safely dry fire. It looks like he kind of half-racked it, which would not be far enough to eject the live round that's in the chamber. And, well, you saw what happened. My favorite
My question is why his finger was on the trigger in the first place.
part is the giant bold letters on his back that say, Officer. Remember videos
You think it was just security or an actual police officer?
like this when people say things like, only police should have guns. While police do have
Hey,
to
just because they're trained with guns doesn't mean they're good with them.
train with firearms, the training requirements often are, well, let's just say defunding that part's really not a good idea. Now, if you want to see the completely uncensored version of this video and, Darwin Awards in general, you can use the link down in the description to go to Pepperbox or go to pepperbox.tv. It's a streaming platform that me and my friends started where we put all the stuff that you can't put on YouTube, plus a lot of bonus content from the crew. Stuff like Cody's shooting breakdowns, but without all the crazy censorship that we have to do for YouTube. And there's a 14-day free trial, so try it out today. See if you like it. Now, up next is a short clip that's going to act as a little break from the violence.
Really? Are you really doing short jokes right now?
So you got him shooting in hand,
He just couldn't help himself.
in the air here.
Also, I do not like where this guy is standing. Like, this is prime tripping hazard area. What the heck, man?
See,
Like that. Jesus Christ.
see, that's really not good. If you go back and watch that a little slower, not only does it obviously fly out of his hand, that part's not great, and then it falls and it lands where it's directly pointed back up at him. Plus, he's not really in a safe area to shoot because when he takes a step back, he almost falls, trips and falls, which that could be its own problem. So just a...
I hope they only put one bullet in there and we were just lucky he didn't fire anything else off, but honestly, that didn't seem like a gun that would be too big for the man to handle. It's probably just got away from him. Maybe it was his first time or something there, but like, there's this thing where a lot of people like to give things that other people definitely can't handle. I thought he could be able to handle that kind of gun. It seemed like it was a fine enough size, but man, I don't know.
little tip. If you're not sure if somebody can handle the recoil of a weapon that you're letting them shoot,
Wait a minute. Is he holding that thing?
especially handguns, only load one round.
Yeah, I don't think he was holding it very well.
It's a small
It kind of looked like he was holding it like, kind of like something like this, a little like, he didn't look like he had his whole hand around.
thing you can do that can avoid a potentially huge problem. Because handing somebody a
Yeah, let's look at this. No, wait, no, he's got the whole hand there, but
gun that they can't handle
What's going on
is
there?
a big safety violation. So I think that's all for that.
I don't know, maybe he just didn't have a very good grip with the bottom side of his hand, and so it jumped up when he took the shot up, boom, and slipped. Maybe that's what's going on there, but I feel like he definitely could have been able to get a better grip on that.
Clip, and to be honest with you, I'm out of size puns. But I'm sure you guys are going to have...
Maybe he was planning to drop, because it just made a direct thunk right on top of that beam there, but I don't know. I'd give him another shot at it another day, but not this one.
Plenty in the comments. So this next one's a bit of a change in pace. It's a newspaper article, and to my shock, I think it's actually real.
What's this?
Faulty bullets kill woman in pawn shop.
What?
Middle-aged woman walked into a Boise, Idaho pawn shop yesterday and pulled out a pistol. Quote, "These shells you sold me don't work," she told the clerk, Chuck Davis. Then as Davis, another clerk, and a customer watched, she put the gun to her head and pulled the trigger. The shot killed her instantly.
Hey! Like, holy crap! Like, what the heck was their plan there? It's like... No! Don't do that! What the frick, man? Like, there is absolutely never any call for this. What the frick,
was
man?
identified as Mrs.
Also, shells?
Arma L.
What is it? What kind of pistol shoots shotgun shells?
Warren, 52, of Nampa, Idaho.
Maybe that's just a sign they really didn't know what they were doing.
Suffice it to say, the bullets were not defective. Also, is it just me? Is this just my tism getting triggered here? But I'm sincerely bothered by the fact that she referred to them as shells.
Okay, good. It wasn't just me.
For a handgun. Rounds.
Maybe she was British in some way. I don't know.
Ammo. Hell, I would have even taken bullets. Shells are for shotguns. Something she would have known if she got her start in gunsmithing and weapons technology.
And there's the SDI ad.
At sdi.edu using the link in the description.
It's not a Brandon Herrera episode without an SDI.
But for real, I know it's a little late in the episode, but now's probably a good time to go over the 4 rules of gun safety. Treat every weapon as if it is loaded, even if you think the bullets are defective. Keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot, even if you think the bullets don't work. Never point a firearm at anything you're not willing to destroy, assuming your head is on that list. And know your target and
What was that last bit? Cobain intensifies? Oh, geez.
and what's behind it. In order to have a deadly accident with a firearm, you usually have to break at very least one of these rules, usually multiple. Season 7, time for a wedding. Is it really Darwin Awards if you don't have some sort of Middle Eastern celebration?
Wait, what's that about season 7? What?
Including questionable gunfire in the air? This clip starts off hot. This guy is getting down with a Glock and pointing it directly at the rest of the guests.
And said guests are kind of freaking out over there. Oh my goodness, all those people who were standing off to the side there, oh dear lord, they were not happy about that.
Old guy in the light blue shirt had the right idea. Nobody is comfortable with this. And at a certain point, you're just waving a fucking loaded gun around. Everyone around him is way too trusting that he's gonna pull the trigger at the right time.
I think they're just in shock that this guy's actually doing something so stupid.
Remember those gun safety rules I talked about just a second ago? Assuming he's not just a terrible shot and he actually meant to kill all these people, he's definitely pointing that gun at things he's not willing to destroy. He's definitely not keeping his finger off the trigger until he's ready to shoot, and treating it like it's loaded, well, I mean, it is fucking loaded. That's not stopping him from having a grand old time.
And imagine if one of those shell casings popped out and hit him hit the back of his shirt, which is clearly quite open. That would have been a very bad thing if that ended up happening. Shooting a gun's above your head, like, nah, not a smart
There's
thing.
even a couple bits where he's just like purposely like pointing it at everyone. It's just, what a fucking asshole.
Guys.
You know, it's not a cultural thing either if everybody else is getting just as uncomfortable as we are watching.
Yeah,
For our next clip, we have another staple of Darwin Awards. Kids recording themselves flexing like wannabe gangsters using shit they should not be fucking with. Here we have what clearly looks like a underage urban youth sporting 2 handguns in a car with his
An interesting shirt, though.
friends who also have handguns. Let's just see how this goes.
I already know how we rocking. Oh my god.
Sails one right in the windshield. That giggle at the end gets me though.
You broke the window!
Yeah, he broke the
That's the sound of somebody who knows they're not the one who has to pay for everything.
window. Also, everybody in that car right now
Jesus
has
Christ.
to be... Seriously, I want to know what he thought would happen there. He clearly racked the slide, pulled the trigger. You get the surprise inside.
Not the smartest thing you could possibly do.
Also, that's clearly his dad's very nice, expensive FNX 45 tactical, I would assume. His father, if he's around, probably very upset that his son stole his very nice firearm to use it to put a hole in his windshield.
You broke the window!
Okay, if you had a kid who did this, which would you be more angry about? The fact that he used your gun without you knowing, or the fact he shot your windshield out of your car? Let me know, because, oh my god, I can't tell which one I'd be angrier about. Probably about the fact he actually used the gun without permission, honestly. Because that could have got anybody killed.
So my parents gotta teach you.
And Krusty the Crab... Wow. Krusty the Crab? What the frick? No, Krusty the Clown giggling away out over there.
Kids' gun safety. Yes, you should keep them out of the reach of children, but if they happen upon it, or when they get a little bit older and they get curious, or they want to do stupid shit like this, gun safety is paramount. Also, like, don't raise your kids to do shit like that. But on top of that,
Yeah, I think it's very important to at least teach kids about guns, and not just purely to avoid them, but also if you do come across them, this is how they work, and definitely teach them the 4 rules, because, come on, the gun safety is just smart, you know? Like, it's one of those things that if you have it, it'll really help you out, and if you don't, you could really get somebody hurt.
Gun safety is an important thing for kids to know. Even if you don't personally have any guns in the home, your kids might go to somebody else's house where they do. Personal story, my dad actually used to have a rule when I was growing up. He always said, son, you know, if you're curious, you ever want to see any guns or anything like that, just let me know. Always take the time to, you know, show it to you, answer questions, you know, this, as long as I've got time. If you want to go shooting, we'll find a day and we'll go do that together. If I find you in my closet playing with a gun unsupervised, I will beat the holy fucking shit out of you. And 8-year-old me was like, yeah.
You know, I think it's a good idea when it comes to kids. It's not about the beating for doing something wrong. It's about making sure they understand what they did wrong, why it's wrong, and if you ever do it again, this is what's going to happen. That's the thing that really needs to be drilled into people's heads. Is it's not just about pure punishment. It's understanding why they're being punished. That's what really makes it a punishment that works. If you don't do that, then people are just going to do it again because they don't know what they did, or they don't care about what happened. They just care about what the results of things are. But then you'll lose kind of all kinds of respect if you don't teach them why something is happening.
Cool, Dad. Sounds fair. And young Brandon never got that ass beating. For that, anyway.
That's fair.
Now, without further ado, we do have our first real winner of a Darwin Award today. Lucky him, right? Now, this video, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't have believed if I didn't see it and see the reaction. Again, this one is without sound, but here we have a guy who's just walking down the street. He goes to fumble with something, which is apparently his carry gun, which then falls out of his waistband and...
Oh!
And we did blur it
Guns shouldn't do that.
just in case because, of course, YouTube.
Of course, keyword being shouldn't.
But you can't really see much of what happened there. But if you watch it again and you look in the reflection on the right side, bam, right there you see the muzzle flash reflected in that frame. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why we don't
I wonder where he got hit at.
carry a
He
SIG
just
320 in a shitty holster. It's fucked up.
Must be a SIG.
Later on in the same video, these two guys come walking up like, hey, who left a dead guy here? So be careful when you're carrying with one in the chamber, especially if the gun or setup you're carrying is not drop safe and, well, accidents can happen.
Well, the question is, how would you know it's not drop safe unless you actually personally drop the gun to see if it does something? You would think all manufacturers of guns need to make sure there is close to 100% drop rate safe as possible, you would think.
But as a Darwin Award winner, I wouldn't usually close with a video like that. But honestly, it was just so weird of a clip, I just had to show you guys. So that brings us to our next clip, the big Darwin Award for this episode. So here we have a gas station employee manning the desk, holding
I don't like the way this is looking. I don't like it at all.
a pistol. I'm sure you can probably already guess where this is going. He's playing what I'll assume is the gun that they keep behind the counter. A shitty necessity.
Don't play with guns like that. Don't play with guns.
If you're in that bad of a ghetto part of town, I suppose. But you should probably train whoever works there how to use it first. And unfortunately, that's just not what happens here. So as he's
Guns are not fidget spinners. If you're bored at work, I don't know, spin a lighter in your fingers or something, but not a gun.
Playing around with it with his finger on the trigger, he ends up pointing it directly at his face.
No! Why? Who's gonna... The guy had ample time to make sure it was unloaded before even doing any dumb anything. And even if it was unloaded, why are you looking down the barrel? And this is what happened. Oh, Lord have mercy.
And pulls the trigger.
Oh, and there
Judging
he
by
went.
the shot placement and the absolute lockup of his body there, I think it's safe to assume that our boy probably didn't make it.
That was hard to
The
watch.
worst part about this is that this looks like some young dude, maybe in his early 20s. And that this is 100.
If you ever take anything away from this video, don't look down the barrel of a gun and don't play with guns. They're not toys.
100% completely avoidable. There is no reason that had to happen.
No.
I mean, the kid's got his whole life ahead of him. Kid's
Had.
working an honest job, trying to make a living, and now, well, there's a lot of life he'll never get to experience. So he's violating 3 of the 4 rules here, clearly. He's got his finger on his trigger before he's ready to shoot, which I assume he doesn't want to shoot in the gas station. He points in an unsafe direction.
Yeah, also, why are you keeping it? Well, I guess you still need security, but still, why are you shooting a gun in a gas station?
He points it directly at his head, and he's not treating every weapon as if it is loaded, because this one clearly is. Stuff like this is why teaching gun safety is so important. Because much like carrying a gun, gun safety is kind of like a parachute. If you have it and don't need it, no harm, no foul. But if you need it and you don't have it, I can promise you'll never need it again. That's why it's
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
important to learn the 4 rules, practice safe gun handling, and you won't end up winning your very own Darwin Award.
Oh.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's been a while since we've done one of these. Next time, I'm going to try to find some more videos with sound. Got a lot of really cool range videos coming out soon. I know you guys are going to like it. So if you're new around here and you like the content, go ahead and subscribe. If you've already subscribed, do me a favor and double check that you're still subscribed, because YouTube doing that thing again where they unsubscribe people for
It happens, you know.
no reason. But ultimately, thank you guys for sticking with me. I appreciate you staying to the end. And as always, I'll see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next video. Thanks, guys.
Fuel is my obsession to make the perfect weapon, like Rasputin's rise to the top.
So first off, you know this is gonna be good if the. You know this is gonna be good if the.
Any day now.
You know this one's gonna be.
Oh, do you just hate it when you can't get something out when you want to say? I do that way too many oftentimes. Well, hey, that was that episode. Oh, dear Lord. That poor guy. Yeah, but don't play with guns. If there's anything you ever take from the Darwin Awards, don't play with guns. Take them at least a little seriously. It might save your life. But hey, thank you very much for watching with me reacting to him. Y'all have a good rest of your day now, and be sure to live life to the max. I'm out.